Hi everyone, it's TJ here. We are back with the Spirit of 97 with Borussia Dortmund, and have we settled on a winning tactic? Before we get into today's video, if I can ask you to do me a favour, drop a like, subscribe if you're not already, enable the notifications, because why not? You don't want to miss anything else, and leave a comment. Obviously this is episode number 3. If you're here and you're watching it and you're enjoying it, why not comment Haaland? Just because he's a beast. Why not? Comment Haaland. So, as I said on the intro, have we found a winning tactic? So, after I last saw you, which was after the Sporting game, which we drew to all, I said obviously I was going to change the tactic, and I'd gone with a fairly standard, like 4-2-3-1, which I'd kind of been wanting to avoid using, but it needs must type thing. But actually, after I finished recording that episode, I then did do a little bit of messing around. And we've kind of settled on this. Initially, I had Haaland out on the left-hand side to make the most of the fact that he was left-footed, but I found he was far too wide. He ended up sometimes around here, and I want him in the box. And after I made that change, I think he actually scored twice in the next game. So that seems to have worked really well. Still a custom formation. It still very much relies on pressing and intensity. But it seems to work fairly well. It's still, in its infancy. The players still aren't fully familiar with it. I did initially have Hazard swinging the crosses into the far post where Haaland was, but obviously now that Haaland's moved a bit more central, I don't want that. You might notice Caligari, we signed him in the January. We're going to the rest of the January transfer windows moves in a bit. He is someone who I know a lot of people had on FM22 and said he was very, very good. I never actually signed him, but my scouts picked him up for me as an option at right back. They identified that we were struggling for depth at right back, so they identified him as someone to sign, and we got him in. So yeah, let's get into the transfers. A couple of free signings to touch on first. Orestania you already knew about, but we've also secured the signing of Boubacar Kamara from Marseille and Antonio Rudiger. Now what you can't see, because my hideous face is in the way, is that these are free signings. These are actually joining at the end of their contract in the summer, as is Santiago Mela, a Uruguayan keeper, purely just backup, because we did sell a few players in the summer in the January as well. So, he is someone that we need to bring in because Hitz was already going, which we had sorted out in the summer, but he wasn't leaving until the January, and then Berkey also wanted to leave, so we did end up selling him. In terms of outgoings, Hits, we already knew about. Akanji went to Newcastle for 27.5 mil. That was a really good fee for him. He was only worth about 16 to 20 mil at top, so we got quite a decent chunk for him. He was okay. He was probably one of our better centre-halves, but, probably not someone we are going to be relying on going forward into the future. So I was quite happy to cash in on him now while I could. Schmelzer only had 6 months left on his deal. He came to me saying he wanted to leave, so we let him go as well. He went for just basically 100k, but it was just, gets him off the wages, even though he wasn't on a huge amount. But, he wanted to leave, and, he's a Dortmund legend. I didn't want to stand in his way. And to be fair, I'll probably look at bringing him back when he retires for his coaching. Yeah, Berkey went to Wolves for 7.5 million. Wolves, incidentally, now managed by Steven Gerrard, and also Everton, my other team, my main team, are now managed by Wayne Rooney, club legend. If you can call him that, really, when he spent most of his time at United. But hey ho. You will notice Arezzo left on loan to River Plate Montevideo. That's because we signed him. The scouts recommended him. To be fair, I was avoiding buying him because, it's like such a done thing. I had him on FM20, I had him on FM21. If you saw him, Princes of Parma, he was really, really good for us. But the scouts recommended him, said, they were like, you really got to sign him. He's amazing, must sign. So I was like, fine, okay, you know what, we'll get him in. Aaron Martin, we matched his release clause at Mainz. We got him in for 4.9 mil. Left back option to cover for Guerrero, or maybe even replace Guerrero, who knows. Just with Schmelzer leaving, obviously we sold Schultz in the summer. We had no backup basically. And then we also brought in Zach Steffen on loan from Man City. After Hitz and Berkey leaving, we were literally down to one backup keeper. And Kerbal has not been very good, to be honest with you. He's made quite a lot of mistakes, which we'll get onto in a minute when we look at results. So yeah, what do you think of this transfer window? Do you think these players are going to do good for us, the ones we brought in? Oh, we are on to results. So, a bit of a confession to make. I actually intended on bringing this back a lot earlier. I actually intended on bringing this back around the Bayern Munich game, the first Klassiker of the season. but for some reason, the whole episode didn't record. So it recorded like the intro, about 60 minutes of the game, and then it just didn't record anymore after that. I don't know what happened. And so that kind of fell flat on its arse, basically. So I'm bringing it back for this next game, which is against Leverkusen, who are having an underperforming season. Since we made that tactic change, it was here for the Augsburg game. And as you can see, we went on an incredible run. Admittedly, not against anyone crazy, but Mainz, to be fair, are currently sat in about 4th, I think, in the league. So, they're having a decent season. Leipzig was a very stressful game, but it was really entertaining, to be fair. Stuttgart blew them away, Moukoko getting his first goal on his 17th birthday, which was quite a nice little thing. Then we had a bit of a blip. We lost to Wolfsburg in a game which really we dominated, to be honest with you, but as is the way with FM22, corners, Sebastian Borneo, he is a defender. He got ahead of our defenders on a corner and scored. Corners, headers, whatever, are just ridiculous at the moment on FM22. So frustrating. Bayern Munich, we lost 1-0. Again, I would say we didn't dominate, but we were unlucky, I would say, in that game. Moukoko hit the bar. It was really even. They just scored from literally a long ball out from the back. Poor defending from Zagadou, Lewandowski in, and he just chipped the keeper. Sporting was an absolute disaster. Thankfully, by that point, we already had first place secured. As you can see, they went 1-0 up. Schmelzer got sent off. They then scored from the free kick that he gave away to get sent off. They then scored from a corner, and then again, it was just awful defending. It was just an absolutely shocking performance all round, and I was fuming. Literally went down to 10 men, and they just folded like a pack of cards. Bounced back nicely with 2-1 against Bochum, Greuther Fürth, Hertha Berlin. That was a friendly. Frankfurt, and then we've had 2 disappointing results. The Freiburg one was good, because Freiburg are having a good season. They're currently 3rd. Hoffenheim was literally, talking about Kerbal, so their first goal, this 4-minute one, Nianzou went to play the ball infield into Emre Can, and I don't know who was at fault, whether it was a poor pass from Nianzou or Emre Can just wasn't on it, but basically Can almost sort of turned his back and then went to get it, and their guy just burst through and scored, and he just went straight past Kerbal at his near post. He just kind of sat down on his arse and the ball went past him, which was really frustrating. But okay, you know what? 1-0. 2-0. Kerbal plays the ball out into Nianzou. Nianzou and Hummels mess around with it and then play it back to Kerbal, who then smashes it straight into their, not Kramrich, their other striker. I can't remember what his name is. Smashed it straight into him from about 10 yards. The ball bounced off him, hit Kramrich, and he just lobbed Kerbal, who was obviously like 14 yards out. We then start pushing. They then get a goal on the counter after we'd had, I would argue, a perfectly good goal disallowed by VAR. When the lines came down, it looked like it was pretty much bang on. Marlon scored, and that would have made it 2-1. As it was, literally 2 minutes later, they made it 3-0. We got a consolation back through Gio Reyna. San Pauli in the cup, the board were a bit disappointed with this because they wanted us to reach the semi-final. Chan got himself sent off. Second red card of the season. Straight red in 40 minutes. Then San Pauli took the lead. Haaland got us back into it with a penalty, and then went to penalty shootout. So we played about 80 minutes with 10 men. Ritzka missed his penalty. It was saved, and I was thinking, great. And then Seiwald was saved. And then Bellingham ran up and blazed us over the bar in sudden death. Absolutely blazed it over the bar. So yeah, really, really frustrating. We are currently sat 2nd in the Bundesliga. We are, I think, 8 points off with a game in hand by Munich. The Hoffenheim result did kind of knacker our progression, but like clawing our way back up the table there. But if we can beat Leverkusen, we'll be 5 points behind, still with Bayern to play. Bayern are dropping points here and there, so there's definitely a chance that we can easily overcome this gap and still win the league this season, which would be fantastic. In regards to the Champions League, that is going to be the next episode after this, which will hopefully get recorded this weekend, is going to be this Ajax game, this home leg in the second round, this home leg in the first knockout round against Ajax, the second leg of the tie. Ajax are a good team, as we all know, but I think, this is a very realistic opportunity for us to try and progress into the next round of the Champions League. I think we are on par with Ajax, if not hopefully slightly edging it in terms of individuals, because Obviously, Haaland is arguably the best striker in the game. So after that long intro, sorry just to run down because it's been unintentionally a longer gap than I planned on since the last episode. We're going with this team. Emre Can is dropping to the bench. I'm not happy with him getting sent off in that last game. And also Bentancur has been after some more games, so he can play. We're changing the halfback for a BWM in there. Brandt is playing. Reina is someone who had been playing out there, as had Marlon, but Marlon's been in poor form and Reina's just come back from international duty with America. So this is the team we're going with. Caligari, Nianzou, Hummels, Guerrero, Bentancur, Bellingham, Brandt, Royce, Hazard and Haaland, and Zach Steffen is coming in for his league debut in goal. Like I said, Kerbel's been so poor. So this is what we're going with. This is a chance to put the last two games behind us. Really disappointing results against the underperforming Bayer Leverkusen team. Can we get the win and close that gap to Bayern Munich? Drop your thoughts below. Are we going to win? Bayern Leverkusen playing a good team here. Got a good lineup, but I back us in this. They are having such a poor poor season, Leverkusen. So we really got the chance here. We've got 18 months at least of Haaland, or at most, potentially. Yeah, he came to me just before the January transfer window saying he wanted to move because he wanted to win the Champions League. And I said, we can do that. But not this season, but next season. Honest. And he was like, okay, yeah, I'll give you to next season. So, might be that we ended up selling him in the summer if a club comes in for him before then, but who knows. At the end of the day, if we don't win the Champions League next season, we sell him. It's not the end of the world. Hopefully it just adds more value onto him. Realistically, I want to be getting at least 125, 150 mil for him when he goes, because I think it's going to be very unlikely that we're going to be able to keep him for the whole series. I'm just still not enjoying how overpowered crossing is in this game. It's so frustrating that you can spend all that time going through your training schedules, putting in defend set pieces like defend corners, aerial defence, wide defence, whatever. And it just feels like it doesn't make a difference. You could argue that could be individuals, but there's no way that my defenders are that poor at defending headers, like defending crosses and stuff. Not a chance. Well claimed by Steffen. You know what? If he can do that, hopefully it will reduce the need for our defenders anyway. Steffen's contract, I think, actually expires at the end of this season at Man City. So if he has a good season, who knows? He might be a really decent free option for us. Otherwise, keeper is definitely going to be an area we will improve in the summer. Great ball by Royce to Haaland. Blocked by Tar. Royce in that shadow striker role is arguably our most influential player. He has like the odd bad game, but generally speaking, he is so influential in that role. Pops up with some vital goals, and it just allows him just to spray passes forward as well, for Haaland running in behind. Here he goes. Oh, over the bar. And yet him and Haaland seem to have a really good relationship as well. Like the link-up play between them is really, really good. Okay. That is another thing that is just really frustrating, is defending. And Alario is supposed to be being marked specifically as well. And he just completely escaped from our defenders there. So we're going to drop the defensive line a little bit because I do not want that happening again. It's like neither Hummels nor Nianzou wanted to pick him up. Great ball. Royce, Haaland, come on, Erling. Why have you gone there? Feeds it back to Royce and a great save by Hradecky. I know Haaland's left-footed, but just hit with your right. Royce in for Haaland again. Now it's on his favoured side. And he scores. Oh, come on. Oh, yes. They gave it. Haaland with his 26th of the season. Look at the ball from Roy. Oh, yeah, he's well onside. Well onside. And he absolutely leathers it into the corner. Straight past Radetzky. He had no chance. Beautiful goal. And he's in again. Royce is coming up in support. Can he find him? He finds Bellingham on the edge of the box. He crosses. Oof. I thought that was a cross, but maybe it was more of a shot. Thinking Hazard at the far post would have just gone, tapped it in. I'm happy with this so far. Hazard, just hit he's supposed to be on hit early crosses, which to me, as soon as you get the ball out wide, you take a touch and you whip it in. You don't take an extra touch and take it wide. Maybe I need to set him to dribble less if he's not already. He's on dribble more, that might explain it. But he's on winger on support. I don't really think I can change that anymore. Hummels, I tell you what, Hummels doesn't half look shaky sometimes. He really does look shaky sometimes. I might actually take him off at half time. So I was going to try and take Hummels off, but I realised I've got no defenders who I can bring on for him. Everyone else is injured. Pongracic and Zagadou, both injured. I could put Chan there, but he's not as good defensively in that regard. So what I've actually done is I've actually made Hummels the covering defender. I know covering defenders usually suit players with pace, but there we go. But I'm thinking if he's sat in deeper, he hopefully has less catching up to do. So hopefully it'll sort of work that way. And there we go. Royce and Haaland linking up again. Royce picking the ball up, spraying the pass through. Erling breaking the lines, rounds the keeper, bang. Are we going to see another Erling Haaland hat-trick today, actually? Obviously, last episode we were looking at, does he only score hat-tricks? Since then, I think he's got at least another hat-trick. He got one in the league against Frankfurt. So I think this will put him, if he gets one today, he might put him on 4 or 5 hat-tricks this season. He's got 2 in the league. Yeah, this will be his 5th one because he's got 2 in the league, 1 in the Champions League and 1 in the Cup. So if he gets one today, it'll be his 5th hat-trick this season. So come on, everyone, let's root for him. 5 hat-tricks in a season. Surely that'll be a record or something. Is Royce? Oh, he hits it wide. Poor shot. One thing I have started doing is because I find that I can blitz teams and blow them away, and then it does seem to taper off. Teams seem to get back into the game quite late on. I've conceded quite a lot of late goals. Sometimes even 2 late goals in the last sort of 15 minutes. And even though fitness-wise, everyone seems quite quite healthy, I suppose, quite well conditioned still. It does just seem to happen. So what I've started doing is bringing in my control possession tactic a bit more, just to try and slow the game down, help sort of shore things up a little bit. And so far it has actually helped quite a bit. I tried it against. In fact, I actually used it against San Paoli when we were down to 10 men, and it worked really well. I also used it against Freiburg, who we were beating 1-0 at half time. And at about this point that I'm making this change now, we changed it, and we held on to the game quite nicely. So I'm going to bring Chan on. I think he's hopefully got the message. Yeah, it seems to have worked quite nicely, just killing the game off a little bit, helping us keep control. And then we do this for a bit, and then if needs be, we switch it back up again or whatever. So yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. I think with the way I'm finding players adapting to this formation and also the fatigue levels in the game, I think you do definitely need to try and employ different match plans, just to try and help with your game management. So we made 2 subs. Nianzu's gone off and Seiwald has come on, and basically what we've done is we put Chan into defence and Seiwald in that holding role. Adeyemi has come on for Torgan Hazard. We've left Haaland on because I want to see if he can get his hat-trick. Might as well make one more change. Who should we bring on? Let's bring on Gio Reyna. You can press him. I'm finding these instructions with the pressing and stuff quite useful with regards to what the assistant says. Pull a pass from Gio, but he gets it back. Nice little link up. Good cross. Oh, what a save from Hidetsky. I thought that was going to be Haaland's hat-trick then. This has been a very nice win. I've enjoyed this. Nice and solid. No complaints. That'll be the game. Poor fortune for Haslak coming back to his old stomping ground. There we go. 2-0. Take that. I will take that all day. So that result sees us close the gap up to Bayern Munich. And I just thought I'd do a little quick breakdown on our team stats so far. So as you can see, Haaland in 25 appearances, 27 goals and 2 assists. Marco Reus in 25 appearances, 12 goals and 9 assists from that number 10 role. Absolutely having a blinder. This is why I absolutely love him. Love the bones of that guy. He's class. Otherwise, goals and assists are kind of shared out across everyone else really quite evenly. I believe, though, Guerrero is our leading assist provider, with 12. Yeah, he's having a really good creative season for us. He was subject to a few bids in the summer. I keep saying the summer, in January from Newcastle, but now Chelsea are after him supposedly. So it might be that we lose him in the summer, because if Chelsea come in for him, we're probably going to struggle to keep him. Let's look at the league. We're playing Union Berlin next. That's definitely a very winnable game. 5 points behind Bayern. Who have Bayern got next? Bayern are playing Bochum away. That should be a win for them. And then one interesting thing for anyone who wants to know. Elsewhere, Tottenham Hotspur are right up there. They have been top at times this season. Having a blinder. Sevilla, for the time, we're top of La Liga. City and Barcelona, neither of them qualified from the Champions League groups. Barcelona actually came bottom. City went into the Europa League. So we've already lost a couple of big guns. We've got a chance of maybe even sneaking a semi-final place, depending on who we get in the draw next. But yeah, let's not get our hopes up too soon. It'll be very interesting to see how we get on again in that Ajax tie for a start, because who knows, they could turn us over. Well, everyone, that was a fruitful episode. I think you'll agree. A nice, solid 2-0 win at home to Bayer Leverkusen. Admittedly, they're having a poor season, but from my point of view, they're still a good team. And that's shown by the fact that, they limited just to 2 and they were still a threat. So, I'm quite happy with that. Next episode will hopefully be up, maybe even later on today, but most likely tomorrow. I'm going to be playing that now, getting myself ready for the Ajax game. In the meantime, feel free to see what's going on over in the Princess of Parma over there. Next episode will be coming up probably in the next couple of days. FM21, I am realizing, compared to FM22, is so slow. It takes ages to progress anything, especially now that I'm like 6 seasons deep and there's a lot of regens and stuff coming through and new gens. It's obviously making the database a bit slower, a bit heavier. But that will be coming up in the next couple of days. We are currently still top of the league at Christmas now. We're just coming into the new year. And, things are going pretty well there. So hopefully this is going to be our year and we're finally going to get our hands on the league in our last ever season with Princess of Parma. Take care, everyone. If you haven't already, drop a like, subscribe, notifications, leave a comment. Why not? And I'll see you then. Bye.